5 homies? Damn, I didn't know we had Piper Perry in this bitch. Now, if you haven't seen it already, I did make a video on part 1 of this anime. Link will be in the description down below, or it should also be popping up in one of the little corners. One of those two, I never know which one it is. But go watch that before watching this video if you want to see the whole thing and how my thoughts change over time. Or you can just watch this one if you're only interested in how part 2 of the anime is and what I think about that. But without any further ado though, let's go discuss part 2 of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, where Rudeus and his fellow Dead End members must adventure the world and get back to their home continent. In the last few episodes of part 1, the Great Mana disaster occurred, teleporting Eris and Rudeus to the Demon Continent, where they met Ruijerd, a spirit who agreed to help them travel across the Demon Continent and hopefully get back to their hometown. This part mainly focuses on the 3 members of Dead End as they continue their journey back to Eris and Rudeus' homeland, along with also their growth as they get a lot older and also get stronger. But mainly this focuses on their crazy and insane journey from all the places they go to, all the people they run into. I gotta say, it is fantastic. This is where the series really starts to shine. I mean, part 1 was beautiful. I absolutely loved part 1, but this is where we get to see everything that we've been waiting for. We get to see various towns, villages, gorgeous landscapes. I mean, this is what an isekai is about. It's about taking you on this journey across this fantasy land that you're unfamiliar with and showing you all these crazy and cool new places. A lot of isekai fail at doing that, as they just show you the same mundane copy-paste city or town over and over again. But here in Mushoku Tensei, everything is different. Every town you visit has its own unique twist that just makes it so gorgeous and captivating. And it is really where this anime shines. Like, truly, it really is. It is gorgeous. I also liked how they improved on some of the things that people didn't really like in part 1. For instance, people had a lot of issues with Rudeus and his touchy-feeliness, mainly towards women. However, in this part, he matures quite a bit and doesn't do it nearly as often. I mean, yeah, sure, he'll sneak a peek at some girls and stuff like that, but he's not like trying to take off Eris's panties while she's asleep. It's not nearly at the same level as it was beforehand. It's a lot more tuned down, and this really shows his growth as a character. You can really see where he's gone from when he first entered this world, a complete degenerate pervert, and now he's actually starting to become a viable man. He's still super young. He's not a man yet, at least physically. Mentally, I don't know if I give him that credit yet to being a man mentally, but he is starting to get there though. He is starting to be able to look at people with less of a lewd eye. I mean, he's definitely still an absolute pervert, but it's a lot less now. And listen, sometimes an overpowered character is kind of cool. It's fun to just watch someone go on a complete power fantasy trip and just kick ass everywhere. But it's also refreshing to see an isekai where the main character isn't actually overpowered. Because in most of them, they're just stupidly overpowered. But in this one though, Rudeus, I mean, yeah, he's got a few little hacks. He's kind of got the chantless magic and all that stuff, but he can get his ass whooped by most people we run into in this series. I mean, he is really not that strong, to be honest. Ruijerd, that man is strong. That man is a beast. Rudeus could get his ass absolutely handed to him by most of the new characters that are introduced, which is honestly kind of refreshing. I mean, yeah, he is still strong. He is still the main character, but he is by no means this overpowered guy who just wins absolutely every fight, and that is really refreshing. The last big positive that I want to talk about, I really can't go into specifics about, but it's the last episode. I'm not going to say what happened in it. All I'm going to say is that it has to be one of the greatest episodes in this series, if not the best. Not because of some crazy fight or whatnot, but just because of how emotionally deep that episode is. it really just tears into Rudis' personality and who he is as a man and where he wants to go moving forward. It really just goes deep into his mental and tests him. And that episode is a perfect ending spot for this part. Perfect ending spot, and it really just sets everything up for season 2. But as I say every time, though, no anime is perfect. And I did have a few things I talked about last time, mainly about the lewdness and touchy-feeliness and all that, and the kind of, high-key molestation. So I'm not going to cover too much on that. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, go back to the other video if you want to see that. I don't want to double down on that too much. I could, but I don't really need to do that for this video, I don't think. The main thing I have an issue with here in part 2, technically it's a little bit connected to part 1, but I really couldn't talk about it then. But it's the human god. That is it's a celestial being giving Rudis guidance. It's not the biggest thing. I don't have a huge issue with it. I had an issue with it when I first started this part, which is why I want to talk about this, because towards the end of this section of episodes, it becomes a little bit less jarring. I'm not going to tell you why, because I don't want to spoil anything, but it becomes less out there, and it starts to fit the theme a little bit more. It starts to feel more in place, not like, oh, this guy is just all of a sudden getting celestial guidance from this all-knowing being and telling him, oh yeah, you gotta go there next and all that. I mean, yeah, he still does give him, he gives him pointers on where to go, but it's not like it's the most clear cut, like, oh yeah, by the way, this person's gonna go kidnap this person, you best go save their ass, and you should go here and do this and do. No, it's a little bit less than that. It's mainly just this god guy playing around saying, oh yeah, by the way, you could go over here, it might be worth your time, I want to see what happens if you do. So honestly, I didn't have the biggest problem with it, but at first I was kind of like, really? Like, you had this great thing going on, apart from just having 46 extra years of knowledge, Rudis really didn't have that much of an edge on everyone else. So all of a sudden now him getting this celestial guidance is a little bit, I was a little bit taken back by it at first, and I wasn't the biggest fan, but towards the end it wasn't as bad. I will say that. If you start watching this part and you think, damn, what the hell is this? What's going on? Why am I here now? Just carry on. Trust me, things will work themselves out. It does get better. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of things that I want to talk about in this section. Honestly, the only other thing I could add would be I'd like to see maybe more of Paul's old party members. They were introduced right at the end of part 1, if I remember correctly, but we really didn't get to see a huge amount of them in this part. I would have loved to have seen more of them. I hope that with season 2 we get to see a lot more of them, because they are characters. I mean, yeah, they're side characters, but like, I want to see more Roxy. I want to see these two get developed a little bit more. I like to see it. It'd be nice to see it some more. Not a huge issue I have with it. The focus is on Eris and Rudis. I love that they did that, but I would have liked just a little bit more of this side party, I think. But like I said, very, very small, little nitpicky thing. I absolutely loved this series. Seriously, this series is just incredible. No isekai has taken me on such a journey across a world beforehand. Most isekai, I mean, yeah, there's some cool ones out there. ReZero, love ReZero. I mean, Konosuba is just hilarious. Absolutely love it. But I can't think of an isekai that I've watched beforehand where you really get to go on a journey across a world and see all these different places, like this jungle area, snowy areas. Just get to see all sorts of different towns and cities, and it's crazy. I absolutely love being able to see all these different places. I think it is fantastic. Isekai is typically a pretty shitty genre, but this series has really shown me that it can be done right. And when it's done right, it is very, very, very nice. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably already watched part 1 of this anime. or you've already watched all of it and you're just coming back to go refresh yourself a little bit, see what other people have to think about it. Either way though, I will be continuing to cover this series as it comes out in 2023. So like, comment, subscribe, and remember to turn on post notifications so you can get notified the second that I drop the next Mushoku Tensei video. I've got a bunch of other videos pop up on the screen right now as well. I've got anime reviews, manga reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I've been covering Bleach, like a lot of Bleach. So if that interests you, because the 1,000-Year Blood War is absolutely incredible. So definitely go check that out. And yeah, got a bunch more. So go check out my channel, and I'm sure you'll find something that you will enjoy. Hope you all in the next video. Peace.
Hi everyone, this is the Boatman. I hear you aren't subscribed to Senpai Supreme on YouTube.com. If you are a real epic gamer and kawaii weeb, you will subscribe right now.